Oh yeah, here I am live at 5. Yeah, I thought I was going to be late again. Not today. I'll get this motherfucker to stop bouncing here. There we go. Woo. Got in here just a minute. I'm going to have to put something under that because that thing's bouncing. Hold a second. Alright, I'm back. Got some stuff to put under that camera so it ain't bouncing all over the place. Alright. I know it's noisy, I'm sorry. But man, 5 o'clock just sneaks up on me now. Alright. Welcome to another edition of Break On Through with me, your host, Jeffrey K. Clayton, the long-haired weirdo, and the unimpeachable president for life. Yeah. Last week I read you guys the list of stuff I got to talk about. So I got a lot of stuff. Got my ice and the hibiscus tea this time. Yeah, here's the list, and I think I've added a couple things. But today is going to be easy. I'm going to continue talking about what I talked about last week because I listened to myself on the playback, and I realized some things, man. I was like, well, I'll get into that after I do announcements and things. Volume up. Oh, there's Leisure McCorkle talking about my new action figure. Did y'all see the post? ANTiSEEN page, Jeff Clayton page. I imagine it's on Destructo Central by now. Straight to Hell Toy Company. Had the sculpts done, the paint done. They're gonna close down shop for about 2 weeks now. They got a new addition to the family coming, and then they're gonna pick it back up once the little one is safe and in the home, and then they'll commence to doing the Jeff Clayton action figure. I know you're all excited to get those. My understanding, yeah, there's 2 versions: red overshirt, blue overshirt. The red one will be the rarest. It will come in an autographed card. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's only going to be 66 of those. Hold on, talk about rare. For a total run of the blue overshirt of 666. Actually, I guess the other one's 600, and the 66 is the red shirt with the autograph card. I myself am not going to be selling them. He's giving me X amount, and I'm going to hang on to those, give them to some family and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe I'll sell some. Oh, got a bunch of you here today. Great to see you. Happy Tuesday. But let's see what I got for announcement. In the way of announcements, well, I just told you about action figure. My main Michael Pilmer, he does our website. He does Devo's website. He does all the stars' websites. He does Janice's page. He works for the Dickies. He worked for Blondie. All the stars. He does a weekly YouTube show where he will unbox. He'll unbox something that he gets in the mail for all of you to see when he's seeing it for the first time. He did that when I sent him his copies of Live from Quarantine. Well, today I'm going to take his gimmick and I'm going to do the same thing. This might be a feature I add to Break On Through. You know, there's a lot of plans for Break On Through moving forward. I just got to get that crash course on Zoom. And man, we're going to take it in a whole different direction. It's going to be an exciting thing, I think. Even more so than it already is. But I'm going to do that today. I got a package in the mail. Been holding it for a couple days now. Real anxious to see what's inside. The name has been covered up. But it's from Rancho Mirage, California. Only one person I know lives near Rancho Mirage. But you know, when you get packages like this, you need to whip your knife out. You ain't a man if you don't carry a knife. You're even more of a man if you carry an orange knife. But this has a pull tab, so I won't be needing the knife. Here we go. Alright, here we are. Oh boy, this is a hell of a pull tab. Okay, here we go. All right. It is from my friend Janice Blythe. And I'm going to show you guys what all I got here. All right. This is good. She says, Jeff, my fanboy number one, help me. Scene from Eaten Alive. Look at that. That's pretty damn cool. And her scene from Phantom of the Paradise. Says fanboy number one. Is that you? Naughty boy. Thinking I'm Paul Williams. Look at there. That's a great picture. That's a great movie. If you guys have not seen it, you need to. And one from The Incredible Melting Man. Jeff, you said white meat. Best always. Janice Blythe. And see, that's made my day. Thank you, Janice, so much for sending me these lovely autographed photos. You can get the same ones. You can get these same pictures autographed to you. But she ain't going to call you fanboy number one because that's me. Go to my page, ANTiSEEN page. Go to the Janice Blythe page that I help moderate with her on Facebook. The address is everywhere. Boing. Order. You're there. Well, On the way home today, I was doing the re-listen of last week, to make sure I didn't tell you guys a bunch of the same stuff over again. Man, I was coughing my head off last week with them damn allergies. I'm surprised y'all stuck with me as long as you did. God damn. Annoying shit. Saw somebody said I opened their bills up. I was like, God damn. I'd have to do another 2 episodes a week to show you all my damn bills. But anyway, I think before I get started on the side project bit, my main Ming, Mondo Braswell, contacted me today and says, and told me about something he wanted to know the story of, or he thinks all of you would appreciate knowing the story of. And I said, yeah, man, I can tell that, I mean, I'll tell you, I'll be straight up with you guys on here. He wanted to know if I would tell the story of the background of the song off of Southern Hostility called Old Man Hit the Road. Well, I will tell you right now that that song was the most personal song that I ever wrote in ANTiSEEN, period. You guys know the subject matters we like to deal with in ANTiSEEN. We're not political. We like to make light of some issues that get people all jumpy and, and say words that make them go, oh. Use phrases that make them go. But this was the one that I wrote that was the biggest part of me left on paper that I could ever have done up to that point, I guess. I guess on the surface it sounds pretty like, well, what would that affect you so bad for? But man, it was in the 90s when my mom and dad divorced after a marriage of 30 years. And so, yeah, that caused a big rift in the family. But it wasn't just the fact that that he was unfaithful, but it was the fact that he and I butted heads for most of my life. And the fact that he was bigger than me, older than me, and everything always kind of made it to where I was the one kind of, on the defensive all the time. But around 1991, he wasn't bigger than me no more. He was older. And that's when things about took a really terrible turn with us. Not that it couldn't get much worse, but it almost did. And because he's one of these guys that he was one of these guys, rest in peace now, but is one of these guys that, you know, he could be doing this terrible injustice right in front of you and just act like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And you're just like, you don't know what the problem is, huh? And I don't want to get too deep and, you know, telling people's business and all this, but it got to the point where we finally had the face-off that we needed to have for decades. And after that, it was... And I still felt like I needed to get something out. I need to get... You know, when you're a musician, or any kind of artist for that matter, that's how you get your closure with some stuff. And that was my therapy, writing that song. And I meant every single word of it. Do I still mean it? No. Because getting older, you tend to understand why some people do or did the things they did or do. And I didn't speak to him for years, maybe 10 years. And I didn't want him seeing my daughter. I found out my wife at the time and my brother were taking her to see him. Now, of course, when I found out, I was livid. But when I calmed down and thought about everything, and after he and I got everything straightened out in his last part of his life, which I had no idea that that's where we were, but I was deep down glad they did. You know, a bunch of it came from the fact that he and I were so much alike. And I guess that was hard for him to deal with. But that's the ins and outs of that song right there for you. Old man hit the road. But now to the side project thing. I listened to myself talk, and I was just like, so I'm sitting there going, I'm against side projects, but I've done so fucking many. And you know what? I'm going to be straight up with y'all again. This is more truth right here. I got some truth for you today. I just don't like it when my band members do side projects. There it is. On the table for you. No, I don't like it. I can do side projects because I've never let anything interfere with ANTiSEEN. See, John Adam just brought up. I did a track with the Jabbers. I mean, that's not really side projects. That's guest spots. Well, I was on a Jabbers record, a damn good Jabbers record. Jeff Dahl was on it too. But yeah, man, if I didn't have you guys in the audience shooting that shit up at me, man, I seriously would have just forgot about it, because it's in the past. I don't sit there dwelling. But one of the most, I guess one of the biggest reasons I ever did a side project would have been the mongrels. And I was at practice for the first time in a month um, this past Friday, and me and Matt Brother Ward were talking about it. He goes, "You remember while we did the mongrels, right?" And I said, "Yeah, they give ANTiSEEN a kick in the ass." And he says, "But it was also kind of a thing to see if it would it's kind of scare Joe into fucking towing the fucking line some, you know." But Joe just got to where he was just sailing. You know, whatever's easiest on me, whatever I have to do the less of, that's the way we'll do it. And I mean, I know you Joe Young, big Joe Young fans out there, you hate hearing that shit. I hate telling you that shit. Yeah, there's a call. But I gotta tell you that shit. But that's what it was. I was just like, all right, well, maybe I'll start this other band and we start doing stuff. It'll make some people start stepping up. that damn experiment blew up in my face. They were glad I was doing something else and getting off their back. But I'm telling you what, the Mongrels was a hot shot fucking band though, man. I'm telling you. Our buddy Jimmy King from the Aqua Lads is on bass. Buddy of his, Jeremy, was playing drums. And a guy I always wanted to work with, Mike Hendricks from the Belmont Playboys, is on guitar. Russ is on second guitar. Now I'm going to say this, and with all due respect to Russ would agree with me. On the guitarist scale, here's my brother Ward. Mike Hendricks is up there somewhere. I mean, this guy could play in any band ever in the world he wanted to play in. He backed up Johnny Cash, Wanda Jackson, all kinds of people. I mean, I could spend 30 minutes going over his resume. But, hell, Joe came to see us one time. They had a great time, too. Really a complimentary of Russ. Matter of fact, I think it was after that show, shortly after, is when Joe said something to the effect, you know, if anything ever happened to me, you know, like if I got my hand crushed or had a stroke or something, he says, Russ is the one that needs to take my spot. I haven't found anyone to take my spot yet. But eventually we got back on it. When we got the new bloodline up, we had another good 5 years. We were like a good 4 years of some steady road work. And then that other stuff that I mentioned, Dixie Fried with Alcoholics Unanimous. Man, that is one of my proudest moments of recording. I really was pleased with that and happy to be part of it. And I kind of just glossed over the whole Slime Goats thing, man. I tried to do a show with the slime goats, but it was as ANTiSEEN. Now, here I'm gonna have to step on some toes, but this is I got to tell the story the way the story happened, okay? But we're doing this show at the International Club in Charlotte, and the place is packed. Everybody's wanting to see the new ANTiSEEN. And I was confident that we were gonna stand and deliver. I was wrong. The guy playing guitar at the time was, and there, I don't think he had been on. Well, he'd been on stage before, but I don't think he'd played in front of that many people. And man, he messed up every single song. I was dying. I was dying right there on stage. Yep. And luckily, Tom O'Keefe came on stage with one song, and we did a version of Mill Working Man, and kind of started to save the day a minute. Yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. Then, you know who's in the crowd who drove up from Atlanta? Joe Young. Man, I was backstage and I just looked at him. I said, Joe, can you play a few songs with no practice? Just get up there right now and do. I mean, if we fuck them up, we ain't gonna do no worse than we're just did out there. So I think we discussed about 4 or 5 songs that he could do, just bam, from memory. Throgmorton's good enough, he'd play anything. The bass player, Phil Rogers, was good enough, he'd play anything. So we said, okay, she's part of the scene, Hammerhead, I don't know, Queen City Stomp, yeah, you know. And the place went fucking wild. Because we hit the groove, we locked. I also think that's what helped Joe decide to come back. That and a few other things that went on in his personal life. But went ahead and put out that record and everything. I was pleased with the record. It just wasn't an ANTiSEEN record. But there is talk. We talked about it in during one of my TKO power meetings about one day that seeing the light of day with the original tracks of Blood of Freaks. So yeah, that's what it all boils down to. I don't like it when band members do side projects. I mean, I like it when we stay busy enough that no one has to do any side projects. But, so I guess I can mark Judas Bullethead and side projects off this long list of topics. See if there's another subject that I can, oh yeah. Told you guys I was a proper punk rocker when I first moved to Charlotte. I had a fanzine called New Breed. What was it named after? Iron Cross song. We are the new breed, and we will have our day. We are the new kids, and we won't go away. 37 years later, still here. How's that for not going away? 37 years on the job. Still got keyboard warriors all over Facebook telling me and suggesting to me how I need to do things. Yeah, I think I did like 5 issues of New Breed. Me and a fellow named Scott Williams from Gastonia. It was pretty much our thing. And it was fun to do. But, the thing that really sticks with me about having done New Breed is some of the connections I made then. And it's people that I respected and admired. And even now, they're part of my life. We were nobody, man. We were just like 2 kids in Charlotte putting together this magazine, and we put little ads in Maximum Rock and Roll and stuff. Hey, and man, like we had tons of bands send us shit, but I get a package from Houston, Texas, from a band called The Hates. I've never heard of them, but I hear I had their entire recorded output at that moment. Loved them. And we kind of stayed in contact by mail and stuff back then. And then decades passed, and last year we finally covered a Hates song, and I was able to present a copy to Christian Kid, get his thumbs up on it. Great thing. Another label didn't see us as like 2 dumb kids. They saw us as people doing something. Touch and Go. Well, you know who we got to learn about through Touch and Go? Uncle Tesco. Negative Approach. The Necros. Now, occasionally Barry Hensler pops in here. I don't know if he's here today, but sometimes he, comments on my post and stuff. I'm in touch with Tesco on a not regular basis, but fairly regular. I mean, we got stuff cooking. We got stuff cooking. Tour with Negative Approach. So, I just remember it was quite a fucking chore to get that damn magazine printed, because I mean it was fairly big, but we did it where it's just like all sheets of paper and just stapled them together. We did all that ourselves in my apartment. And, we had a price on them. I don't know what the price was. I'm sure it was something ridiculously low. We didn't think, how much did we pay, and how much do we charge to at least make that back? We were that wasn't part of that wasn't already in our business plan. Our business plan was to find out about all this music, find out about all these bands, especially the ones close by us, and get these things out so that even more people learn about these bands and this music. Back then, it wasn't about, I learned about, I'm going to keep all this to myself, you know. No, it was tapes. There was something very, I don't know what word I'm even looking for. Yes, it was harder. It was more difficult. You didn't, but you don't know how difficult it is what you're doing until you've seen a way that's much easier and much more instant. I mean, tonight when we get off of here, look at the video watch count. Man, sometime by the time like 8 o'clock, it's already over 1,000 views. Man, back then there's no way we could reach that many people that fast. It would take months. But we didn't know any better. So that you just did it. You just did it. And you pushed on through. You did the best you could. I mean, Black Flag did entire tours then, you know? Playing every little shit creek town, you know, not just the big cities. They played everywhere. And in the wake of doing it, it's like you see that it like if it was a cartoon, it would be Black Flag walking around with a hand of seeds going, throwing them into the air in every town that they play at, because everywhere they played, I guarantee you at least one band started up a week later. In Charlotte, it was a hell of a lot more than one. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's why Joe and I even started, you know, well, hey, we'll start a band, and then the next time Black Flag comes to town, we get to open for them. Which means we get in free. Yeah, we're going to, looking for a way to save $5. Oh, boy. Sowing seeds. I like to think we all still sow seeds, even with this format right here. On Sundays, me and Miss Clayton, we have this arrangement. I drive her to the grocery store, I drop her off at the door, and I go park, and then when she's done gathering the grub, hey, I'm ready. Bam, I go pick her up, load the car, and go home. On Sunday, I was sitting in the Jeep in the parking lot. And man, some young kid comes up to the window. When I say young, I mean, to me, he looked to be under 20 years old. I could be wrong. And kid, if you're looking at this and see this, I'm sorry if I got your age wrong, but I'm just telling you what it looked like to me. I mean, to you, I might look like 80 years old. Probably did. My glasses down like that, trying to look at my damn phone. Shoot. But he just leans into the window. Excuse me, can I ask you something? I just look like, what the fuck? Who the hell's talking to me? Oh, this young kid. Oh, he probably gonna, hey man, you got a cigarette or something? Nope. You know what he says to me? Man, are you guys still doing shows? I was like, I was kind of caught off guard. Like, are we still doing shows? Yeah, we're still doing shows, man. We got one August 25th in Greensboro, North Carolina, with the Murder Junkies. Y'all just hear what I said? August 25th, Greensboro, North Carolina. ANTiSEEN and the Murder Junkies. Live. He says, hey, when I see your information and all online, he goes, I'll be there. And man, when he left, I was just like, God, man. I didn't think ANTiSEEN, I really did not think, whoa, Elvis. I really did not think ANTiSEEN reached into that age group anymore. I mean, we have guys bringing their kids to shows, bringing their grandkids to shows. But this was a young kid all on his own. Then I was in Repo the other day, you know, looking through the Amy Winehouse records. The two kids at the counter were talking, and they're like, hey, that's him. And Jimmy's like, oh yeah, that's Jim, go talk to him. But they didn't want to come talk to me. They were nervous. And see, I was like, man, that hardly ever happens. Maybe being unobtainable, with the exception of these kind of things in our live broadcast, maybe the live broadcast brought in a whole new group of people. Right? Maybe. At first when we played to over 30,000 people. Man, the rest of this stuff right here is stuff that's going to take way too much time to talk about properly. But I got a little surprise for you tonight. Next week, right here on Break On Through, I'm going to have a special guest. You know him as the announcer on ANTiSEEN promotional videos. Some know him as the director and the head honcho of the zombie flick Come Get Some, that starred ANTiSEEN. Pretty much the beginning and the end of my acting career. But Jason is going to be here with me, and we're going to talk to you. It's not going to be us like looking at each other, talking to each other. I'm going to lead the conversation and then he's going to tell you guys what all's going on. And y'all need to respond to what Jason said. Ask him some questions about it. I know a lot of you guys like that movie a lot. He'll be here at 5 o'clock on the dot here at the spot. It's all happening next week. So you got some stuff to look forward to. Next week, Jason Griscom, Come Get Some fame. About 2 weeks down the road, Jeff Clayton action figure, Straight to Hell toy company. Go straight to hell, boy. Yeah, I'm going to do that every time. Thank you all for showing up today. Thanks for sticking with me through all these break-on-throughs. I'm going to cover all this stuff eventually. But, man, keep those suggestions coming in. I'm going to add to this list, man. I'm going to add to it. I'll talk about anything. I will be on the level with you. Josh, you ain't got to apologize for missing it there, buckaroo. Because as soon as I sign off, you can start right back at the beginning and catch all of it. Dave Robb, all the way from Mario, England. You take care, everybody. Have a good week. Keep on doing the things you do. See you next time when we break on through.